everybody. Welcome to Depot TV. I'm your host, Sherry Jackson, Executive Director at the Depot. And as always, we are thrilled you decided to spend some time here with us talking about music and art and the train station tonight. Let's see, a few things to talk about before we get started. One, you're listening to me describe this several days before it airs, because tonight when this airs, I'm at the Depot listening to live music with Ron Bailey and Terry Buffalo Ware, and I'm silly excited. And right now I am grinning from ear to ear, standing in the Depot listening to live music, and I couldn't be happier. We have more live music coming up on November 7th when Ellis Paul is back in Oklahoma, and we're thrilled that he's coming back to our room. A reminder, you'll need a proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test within 72 hours to attend the concerts that we're hosting at the Depot, but we are getting back to live music and we are crazy excited. And it's our membership drive. It's continuing in October. If you have not yet become a member of the Depot, we would love to have you as a member. Your work supports Depot TV, helps bring those concerts to the room and keep that cost low for everybody, helps our gallery, helps support the partnerships we have with all the other arts organizations in town that we love to support by giving them a place to host or to headquarters when there are events and things downtown. You can become a member for as little as $5 a month, and you can do that at normandepot.org/join. And as an not and, I'll tell you that after. See, you guys have been missing it. You got to watch all the way to the end of this episode. There's special stuff at the very end after the credits. Watch all the way. That's all I'm going to say. Tonight, get ready. We get some great interviews and chats and the art of Gregg Standridge and a lovely sit down with him. He's a fabulous musician that we all know and love, but like many creatives, he is a multidisciplinary artist. He has great talent, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. And I got to sit down with Penny Hill. She's amazing, guys. I really like her music, like her approach to songwriting. I hope you do too. And Ken stopping by to tell us a little more about the train station, history, train stories. Stick around, Depot TV.
Free.
Hi, everybody. We're doing a virtual interview this week, and I'm here with Penny Pitchlynn. Hi, Penny.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us. I'm so happy to have you on today. I have so many questions.
Well, hopefully I'll have the answers.
Well, I'm sure you do. They're about you. So, well, I say that, but of course, recently, if people ask me things about myself, it's a lot of, I don't know. uh, um, First, I do like to ask, where do you call home?
Oklahoma in general, I call home, but I'm currently living in Oklahoma City.
Okay.
And I was born and raised in Norman.
Born and raised in Norman. That's usually my other question is like, how is Norman a part of your world? But you were born and raised here.
Yes.
So was I. Did you go to Norman High?
No, I actually went to Bishop McGinnis.
Okay.
And had a long commute for school, but
that's a commute.
Yeah.
That's a commute. And so for people who might not know, people who might be fans of the band Broncho, you were the bassist for Broncho. You also do some solo work and work under the name, is it Labrys? Do I have that right?
You do.
Awesome. And I do also love to ask people, when did music become a thing that you do? Did you pick it up early? Did you come to it late?
Man, I think compared to most people, I came to it late. Honestly, I have always played music, but as far as it being a thing that I do, that was like early 20s is kind of when I became like a songwriter and really dove into that world of songwriting and working with others as well. I started my first band, I think I was probably like 22 or 23 maybe.
Wow.
In Norman with some people at OU. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Was it the songwriting or the playing that came first?
Ooh, I guess technically the playing. I think I took like 2 classical guitar lessons, and I didn't practice enough, so my parents didn't want to keep paying for it. And that was in like high school, I think early high school or maybe even late middle school. And yeah, so it started as just like something I was supposed to learn and didn't want to, and then eventually picked the guitar back up and kind of self-taught myself what I wanted to know about it to write songs.
You know, it's a really funny thing I find common with a lot of musicians, and myself with music and the arts as well. When it becomes work or something like school or something I have to do, then I'm kind of out. I don't work at it nearly as hard. And then when it's mine and I'm doing it because I want to do it, I'm all in. Is that kind of the way you felt about that too?
100%, definitely.
Yeah. And I'm really curious, when you put your first band together at OU, because I know you've done work with Broncho and you put together several bands. Who was in that band? How did you find the folks in that first band?
Man, it's so funny. I was playing a song that I had written. I kind of fancied myself like a closet guitar player until this point, and I was at a friend's house on Trout Street, I think.
I know Trout Street.
Yeah, and this guy Tanner Blair was over, and he was a bass player, and he played like upright bass, and he had been in a couple bands, and and he heard me playing a song and asked me if I wrote it, and I had. So, and then he was just like, we should start a band, and that was kind of it. It was him, and then just kind of friends of friends that I knew or he knew. It was him, Kyle Combs, and Chase Spivey, who's working I think for you.
Chase will be doing the editing for this video. Yeah, absolutely.
He played drums, and he was my first drummer.
That's awesome. I love getting to connect dots in the Norman music community. It's such a supportive, lovely, wonderful community of people, and everybody's played together at some point in some incarnation or another.
For sure.
That's really cool. And then there was, there may have been many things in between there and Broncho. But how did Broncho happen for you?
Man, I was living in Tulsa at the time, and I'd seen the guys play with their old bass player at a show at Brothers. I think it was Norman Music Fest or something similar. And that was like the only time I had seen them. And then I was living in Tulsa and I was like working in a kitchen. I was kind of between things. And for me, anytime I haven't been like all in with music, I've been like pretty depressed. And like, you know, it's definitely what my heart wants to be doing at all times. So when I haven't allowed myself that, it's not good. And so it's kind of in that type of a place. And I heard that that Broncho's bass player was no longer, and they were looking for a bass player. And I picked up the bass like some years before that to play with Samantha Crane. Her bass player quit, and we were friends, and I was just like, I bet I could do that. And so I bought like an $80 bass and sat down and taught myself the songs, and then toured with her for a while. And so I hadn't been doing anything and heard about Broncho's bass player leaving. And I saw Nathan, the drummer, like at the restaurant that I was managing the kitchen for. And I just like told him, I just told him, like, if you guys are looking for a bass player, like, you know, think about me. And then Ryan got in touch with me not long after that. And yeah, just worked out.
That's amazing. I love those stories. Yeah. Those don't happen terribly often. That's pretty amazing.
Totally.
That's great. And now there's Labrys and other projects and solo work. Tell us about that. That's got to be really exciting to feel like maybe it's time to do your stuff your way.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like I definitely got really busy with Broncho right away. And I love being in the studio with them, and I love being on the road, and I love the live shows, and was really I don't know, I hadn't really thought about the solo stuff, didn't really have time or energy for it until like 2017, getting off the road. We had a little bit of a break, and I had some really big life changes as well. And I had written a bunch of songs, and I finally kind of got into the studio to put some stuff out. And it didn't last long as far as like my ability to invest in the project, like both financially and time-wise, because Broncho still was just super busy. So it's always just kind of been my side project. Like it's my passion project. It's where I put like me, the most of me. And, you know, I get to do, like, for me, Broncho is like super fun and lighthearted, and there's a side of me that I get to put in that, and then there's like the other side of me that I get to put in Labrys, and it's kind of where I process stuff, I guess. And yeah.
Hello, art as therapy. Don't we all do a little bit of that, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, that's got to feel healing to kind of let that part of yourself out and pour it into a song. Are there any particular things that you write about? Is there any space? Like, is this a middle of the night, I got to get this thought out of my head kind of moment? Or does an idea just sit with you for a while? I'm always curious as well how somebody comes to a song.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I've definitely had both of those experiences. I've woken up at 3 a.m. with a melody and a like literal vision. One of the singles I put out this last year, called Under a Spell, was kind of written like that. I was out dog sitting in the desert in this woman's trailer, and it was just like me and dogs for like 5 weeks. And I wasn't really seeing many people, and we're just in a very like primal space, I think, in my brain. And I had a really vivid dream of, it was just really surreal, but it was like being buried alive, and like this really like, I mean, it's traumatic, but it wasn't like scary necessarily. It was just very, like, impacting. And I woke up with this kind of like bass line riff. I didn't know that it was a bass line, but I ended up playing it as a bass line. This kind of repetitive boom, 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 boom thing. And that became a looped bass part. And I like ended up writing this song, which the whole song wasn't like a dream, but it kind of just unfolded as I started writing about the dream.
Yeah.
And then this like story kind of unfolded, and then it kind of, I don't know, it ended up being like to me like a way bigger metaphor, just for like this subconscious mind and the conscious mind, and like the like higher ego and the lower ego, and like the idea of like mental illness and kind of having something inside of your mind that is like kind of wanting to kill you, for lack of a better way of putting it. But
urging you to self-destruct. Yes.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, addiction, these types of things. And yeah, so the song just ended up teaching me something. Like once I wrote it and could hear it, then I was kind of like, oh, I actually understand what the song is about. I didn't really know what it was about though until I wrote it, you know.
Wow. Oh, I love that's fascinating to me also. I'm a verbal processor for things. So unless I can get it out of my head and said somewhere and I can hear it coming back in my ears, sometimes I don't even know what I'm thinking. So I find it fascinating that a song would be that way for you, that would be something that you would put out and then listen and go, oh, I hear myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. That's great. And so I know that you are, this interview will not air prior to it happening, but I know that you are playing Opolis with Carly Gwynn and the Sin. And we're going to assume right now that we're post that. And that was the most amazing show. And you had a great time with an awesome crowd.
Yes.
And what else are you doing right now?
So I'm just kind of doing some solo stuff until November. I'm going to start doing some shows with the band. I have 3, and then I have 4 people that I'm going to end up working with. It's going to start out with just 3 of us for the first few shows, or 3 of them, one of me, for the first few shows. But yeah, it's been like, I mean, it hasn't been since Penny Hill, like my first with Chase, and then another like rendition of that with other people. But it's probably been 10 or so years since I played my own music with a band.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm just really looking forward to that experience again.
I am so excited for you. That's amazing.
Thank you.
And I really appreciate you spending a little time with us today, sharing your stories and your music with us. And if people want to hear you, I'm assuming they can hear you on all of the usual platforms. And to look for Labrys. And that's Labrys. So go look for Labrys on all the places you get your streaming music. And go buy some and support local artists. Yeah. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it, Penny.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. We'll be back in a minute. Hi, guys. It's me, Sherry. And guess what this is? It's a commercial. Actually, it's a commercial for commercials. We have time on Depot TV and space, and we need some partners to help support Depot TV and keep it going. But you know what we got? We got this platform and audiences every week. And if you sell a thing or provide a service or just want to support us and say thanks, or if you have a shout out or something you want people to know about, you could become a partner in the Depot and have some commercial time of your very own. So give us a call at 405-307-9320 or email us at office@normandepot.org and find out how this commercial space could be your commercial space. Thanks. everybody. Welcome to Depot TV. I am Sherry, your host, and I am here with friend and amazing artist and musician Gregg Standridge. Welcome, Greg.
Hey, Sherry, how are you?
I'm good. You?
I'm great. I'm
You'll
so
be
glad
better
to be
with
here.
more coffee on board in a minute.
Thank you for having the magic elixir of life for me. I appreciate that. Yeah.
So happy to do that. For those folks who might not know, Greg has been a musician in and around Norman for a long time, an artist, but I often like to start by asking people, are you from Norman or are you a transplant?
You know, technically, I'm a transplant because I was actually born right outside of Baltimore, Maryland.
Really?
Yes. My dad was a core driller, which is like oil exploration back in the 50s and 60s.
Wow.
And but he's from Oklahoma.
Okay.
And I've been in Oklahoma and South Oklahoma City. I grew up there since I was 2. And then in the early 80s, I ended up here in Norman. So.
What brought you to Norman?
I auditioned for a band, and they...
No kidding.
I got hired. I was the third guy. They like to remind me that I was the third guy of their choice, third choice. But I did get the band. I did get the gig, so that was good.
What was the band?
The band was called Inspector 12.
Inspector 12.
Yeah, it was a college cover band.
I love it. I love it. Oh, what kind of covers?
All big 80s, you know, all, yeah.
Big 80s music.
Yeah, it was just all dance, fraternity and sorority parties.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, but you were a musician before that, obviously, because that, you know, when did you start? When was music a thing that you did or knew you wanted to do?
I started playing drums whenever I was about 12, and it was against my parents' wishes, you can imagine.
Absolutely. Drums are noisy in
Yes,
the house.
they are. And my dad was a woodworker. We're going to kind of get into that later, too. I'll show you some of my stuff I made. But yeah, he was a carpenter and a woodworker. And I made my own drumsticks out of mahogany when I was 12 on a lathe, which is probably against OSHA standards about child safety things, but yeah.
Fine.
Yeah. So I made my own drumsticks, and I had pictures of drums, but I had no idea that there were feet involved in playing the drums. So I played drums like this, and I got in a little garage band, and I got fired from that too. I've been fired a lot, you know.
Because they didn't have that bass beat to keep them on. Yeah.
But then I started taking mandolin lessons. I heard Maggie May by Rod Stewart. It was the most amazing thing in the world to me.
Yeah.
And that was actually the first trip to Norman I made. I came and took lessons off of Bob French.
No kidding.
He was my first ever music instructor.
How about that?
Yeah.
And mandolin, and that it became guitar and every other thing that you play. Yes.
Right. That's when it really started kicking in when I was about 16.
Right.
So, yeah.
Have you ever, I've always known you as a musician and a music teacher. Did you ever have a job?
Yeah.
I mean, every gigging musician has some jobs along the way.
Yeah. Well, I was, I bounced back and forth between woodworking and I worked on framing crews and a lot of restaurant work. I was assistant manager, sous chef. I was over at the Sheridan here, so I cooked a lot.
Chef.
Yeah.
Is there anything you can't do?
Oh, I can do everything, but not very good. Yeah, I got my nickname as a sous chef. Guess what it was? It was Bernie, because I burnt cinnamon rolls twice for the chef, and he said, "Your name is Bernie from now on."
Oh no.
Yeah, I worked with Jeruba's wife, Laura. You know,
Yeah.
over at the Sheridan together. So.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so all of this wonderful music in your life, and now I love that you picked out that there's woodworking that's woven its way through your world, because that's a little bit of what we wanted to talk about today. Sure. You've been doing some really beautiful pieces. And when did this project start?
Becky and I took a trip to Colorado about 4 years ago, and we went through and went to Ghost Ranch.
Yep.
And of course, it was just an amazing experience to be at Ghost Ranch for me. Saw a lot of wood lying around, and my father was a woodworker, but he was also a very good wood artist. He built a lot of handmade wood furniture.
Oh,
and
wow.
he was featured in or had his pieces in the Pembroke up in Tulsa. So I don't know, I just started kind of thinking about that again and thinking about him and about trying to create some stuff with wood. And I started making magic wands and staves, and we built a whole fantasy world around those
I
things.
love that. And I know that you brought some. Can we look at one of your wands?
Yeah, sure. Here's one of them right here.
I love that.
Yeah.
Look at that. Just look at that. How do you make that? Where do you start?
Well, with these, I have to join two pieces of wood together that are square.
I see that.
And then I put it on a lathe and turn it down to round.
Mm-hmm.
And then I start carving on it while it's in the lathe and making the spirals and stuff.
Okay. And then add the embellishments after.
Yeah, and these actually, both these ones I'm sure you actually, or this one does, it actually has a feather core inside of it.
Does it really?
It does.
Does it really? Just like a Harry Potter
Exactly.
wand? That's
Gotta have the feather
amazing.
core.
So it's all got its own magic. I feel an Expelliarmus spell coming on. Absolutely. And what I love is that all of your wands, they come with a box and a story. And
Yes. Like this is the box for this story or for the box for this one, and has a little end cap on it, kind of a secret. Looks. Oops, that's wrong.
okay.
Whenever you put it on, it looks like it's pretty well seamed together, where you can't really see that it's.
So it just looks like a solid piece.
Yes.
I love that.
And have a buffalo
Magic all the way through.
Yeah. And every one comes with a story based on this fantasy world that we've created. Yeah.
I love it. I love that. And so the wands have now spurred other wood projects.
Yes. What I've really been working really hard on lately is wood inlay.
Mm-hmm.
And it always seems so hard to me whenever I was trying to do it before. I've done a lot of work with my father. I did a lot of stuff that was repair work for veneer. So if so there's a piece burnt or chipped out or whatever, I would go. He had stacks of just what we call scavenged or salvaged veneer that we had, and we go in and find a piece of mahogany that kind of matched that piece, and we try to cut that in and inlay it and try to match it up. So I started making these inlay pieces. This is my friend Shane down in Austin. She's a yoga instructor.
Amazing.
And she lent me her form there so we could make a few pieces for her.
Wow, just wow. So talk to me about, is that the same sort of thing you're doing, is just finding the different pieces? Do you cut an outline first and then find pieces to inlay?
What I do with these sets that I'm doing right now is I will choose, like these were, if you look on the back, it says 6, 1 of 6, 3 of 6, something like that.
Yep, 1 of 6.
1 of 6. So I will choose 6 different woods, really thin veneers, and stack them together and draw a design out.
Yeah.
And then cut them out. And then I will make 6 different versions of this, but the wood moves from here. This light wood will now become her skin tones, so I'll get 6 different ones.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's fun to see them all laid up together.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love to see them all hanging next to each other. That would be
it's a lot of fun.
That's beautiful. So when you've made these, and how long have you been making these?
Really only about, I made a couple experimental pieces early, like about 2 years ago. Okay. But this whole batch of stuff that I've been working with is less than 6 months old, 3 months old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How long does it take you to make a piece or like a series of 6?
I made, and this is the obsessive, compulsive, crazy man that Becky will be glad to tell you about. I made 40 of these pieces in a month. And somebody told me that was amazing. I was like, wow, that didn't seem like anything. It really didn't. I mean, because I was just having so much fun doing them and all that.
Got it.
Yeah. 40
in a month. How many hours are you working a day on them?
Every spare moment I had. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, just,
Is it a therapeutic thing? Is it just really fun to kind of get in the zone and the flow of making one? And
it is, and I can do some of this work in my house, sitting in front of the TV, with Becky, and so there's a lot of that I can do there, and so.
Something to do with your hands. Well, yeah. I love it. I love it. So you've done these, and then I think they're just so lovely. What makes you choose subject matter for them? Is it just something that you like? Something that comes to mind? A sunset, I see a yoga teacher, we've got the sunrise, we've got birds and clouds.
The yoga teacher was kind of a request, not from Shana, but Becky wanted me to do those for her. She's opened up a new shop in Austin.
Oh,
and she's
that's
wonderful.
lovely.
Yeah, she's a wonderful instructor. And Becky's been doing with her online ever since the pandemic, so they've become very good friends. A lot of it has to do with natural subjects, but also people. I love people, and I'll show you a couple more pieces.
Please.
This is a little shot of a photo of my daughter, my youngest daughter.
Love
and
that.
We just kind of made a real rough outline of her.
That's
and did
really
some real small little
sweet.
pieces. And
I love
this is the one that I'm really most proud of. This is
Oh my. Oh, Greg. Wow. Get that up there so everybody can see that really well.
It's a sort of a acknowledgement of indigenous women that,
Absolutely.
MMIA, murdered and missing indigenous, MMIW, murdered and missing indigenous women. I know I'm very Caucasian, but I am on the rolls as Choctaw, and I'm actually a Cherokee as well. In fact, me and Tipton are related in some.
Are you really?
Yeah, we found this out. I mean, we're both from the Stand-Waddie line, which is like like one of the early Cherokee chieftains from.
Right.
Yeah, I know everybody's related to a Cherokee chief or something like that, but I really am. So.
Okay. This is a really powerful piece. It's a powerful movement, and the awareness around it. I don't think until this movement really geared up over the last couple of years, it was something that was in my awareness either. What a problem it was. And this is a beautiful piece, very powerful. Where can people buy these pieces? Where can people see these pieces? How can people find you?
Well, I'm in Art Walk right now, and in 2022, I'll do a full show at Stash.
Oh, lovely.
They got me set up as artist for their monthly guest artist there. And I'm at every Art Walk.
Yep.
Right in front of Gene Bertman's
Perfect.
law office.
Perfect.
Right over there by the Vista.
All right.
And but I'm building a huge. I'm taking these pieces. I'm literally making them 6 foot and 8 foot tall, and I've got this really huge thing I'm working on right now that I am going to pitch to Mainside.
Love it.
For 2023, hopefully.
Okay.
Yeah, and I haven't talked to them. I've just kind of briefly talked to them, but I'm going to put my proposal together, and hopefully, it's going to be really cool. It's going to be. You can't. You heard the song. You can't roller skate in a buffalo herd, right?
I have.
Okay.
That's home well.
Okay, very good. It's going to be called "Yes, I Can, Roger." And, and
I love that.
Yeah, it's again a sort of a nod towards young women of color, or young women period, that get told they can't. It's like.
Been there.
I used to tell all my guitar students, I used to tell Danny Tipton, I said, what is a guitar player? Tell me what a guitar player, the characteristics of a guitar player. And they start naming he is this, and he is this, and
that's right.
he is this.
Yep.
And I said, well, there you go. You got to fix that, okay?
Yeah.
And so anyways, this little story will evolve like this. There's a young lady that has roller skates that is listening to a music box of Roger Miller's tune, Can't Roller Skate in a Buffalo Herd. And as you walk through the gallery, you're going to see different parts where she's struggling to try and skate with the buffalo. She's skating with the buffalo. She's the buffalo on her. She's roller derbying with the buffalo.
Oh,
she's walking the buffalo on little leashes. Every time the buffalo gets smaller, she's bigger. And, and so that's the vision of it. I've been doing sketches and some preliminary stuff on it, but I know it's kind of a wild idea. But
no, I love a project with a sense of vision.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. I think that's amazing.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
We're going to pitch that to Erin over at the main
Sure.
site, so she'll go for that in 2023.
I wish you good luck with that. Everybody, this is Gregg Standridge. Check him out at Art Walk in front of the Turner Talley Burtman Law Firm on Main Street.
That's it.
All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll be back in a minute.
The next photo I have is also of Amtrak stopping at Norman. It was in 1975, so a little earlier than the previous photo showing the final Amtrak. It shows a much longer Amtrak train stopping here. And again, on the right-hand side, you'll notice the baggage door, or the overhead door, which accessed the baggage room and the little platform and stairway there. The next photo shows the same thing. You can see the bricked up front doors or platform side doors of the baggage room and the baggage door. Obviously there's been some snow clearing going on because of road grader in the parking lot, but again Amtrak stopping at the depot. And you'll see quite a few people waiting on Amtrak that day. This was a good route for Amtrak. The reason that it was discontinued was all political. It didn't have anything to do with poor attendance because this was one of their better attended routes. The next two photos show the depot in much later years after it had been obtained by the city, and we are back to Amtrak as the new Amtrak service started in 1999. In here you'll notice the south wall of the baggage room now is all bricked up and it has a window in it. And that was work that was done after Santa Fe released the building back to the city of Norman. The bricks have been removed from the portico opening and also from the baggage room doors, and the baggage room was restored to its more normal operation. And the next photo is just showing the different color bricks had been installed there to replace that overhead door that was in the baggage room. And this was the south wall of the depot in the early 2000s.
Hi, guys. It's me, Sherry. And guess what this is? It's a commercial. Actually, it's a commercial for commercials. We have time on Depot TV in space, and we need some partners to help support Depot TV and keep it going. But you know what we got? We got this platform and audiences every week. And if you sell a thing or provide a service or just want to support us and say thanks, or if you have a shout out or something you want people to know about, you could become a partner in the Depot and have some commercial time of your very own. So give us a call at 405-307-9320 or email us at office@normandepot.org and find out how this commercial space could be your commercial space. Thanks.
This is a Nirvana cover. Don't mind
Well, I almost let it slip at the beginning of the show, but if you stuck around to the end, good for you. We're going to first thank all of the people who've already become members of the Depot, the people who sponsor these programs, the businesses who help, the individuals who give so much, and the volunteers that make it all work. And you can become a member at normandepot.org/join. And if you stuck around this far and you become a new member this month, I've got a Depot baseball cap for you if you just comment hat on this post. Thanks. See you next week. Bye.